Welcome back to the Prestige, everybody. We had a decent week last weekend. We had a couple of good hits on the parlays for the NFL, and then we had some decent hits on the UFC, but no big ones. So we're just gonna move on. We didn't do a recap video. I've been really busy, and some of you know, there's been a lot of shit going on. So I'm just gonna go on. So, we're gonna start off this card with Simon Oliveira against Luan Lucerda. Simon Oliveira is 18-6. Luan Lucerda is 12-3. Oliveira, when I was watching him, I originally had him as the winner of this fight. He's pretty well-rounded, but he's pretty crazy. He's got a Muay Thai base with it looked like some jiu-jitsu, like some decent jiu-jitsu, and Luan Lucerda seems like he has maybe some good wrestling and some jiu-jitsu and some maybe mediocre boxing and maybe leg kicks. Obviously I'm not super familiar with Lucerda or Simon Oliveira. I've seen like probably 3 or 4 Simon Oliveira's fights, but Lucerda, I've only seen one, I think. Like I said, I originally had Simon Oliveira, just because I feel like Luan Lucerda's his stance is a little bit too open, and I feel like Lucerda's gonna hit him with something, Oliveira's gonna hit him with something, but you can't count on that in UFC, so I'm just gonna lean Lucerda by finish. I think he gets a submission. I think Simon Oliveira is gonna spin too much because he throws every other strike is a spin move, so I feel like he's gonna spin into something, fall, and then Lucerda is gonna jump on him and get the tap. Julia Palastri going on against Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Palastri is kind of a newcomer, and Karolina Kowalkiewicz is not by far a newcomer. She is as many fights as she is freaking vowels in her name. That is a horrible joke, I'm sorry. Anyway, Julia Palastri, her name is like Psycho, like her nickname, and that is exactly how she fights. She seemed pretty well-rounded. She liked to grapple from what I looked at it. She liked a lot of cage control. Looks like a lot of single leg trip takedowns. Normal women's MMA takedowns. But she just seemed pretty relentless and like a psycho. Like she looks like a psycho ex-girlfriend that fucking somebody has. And that's what I'm taking. She's my lock, or one of my locks. I think she wins a decision because Karolina is pretty tough. She's been around forever. She doesn't get finished very often. The finish rates on these slides are not right, by the way. I apologize. So yeah, I'm going Palastri. She could get a finish though, so I would just bet Palastri money line, but it's kind of cooked. So do what you gotta do. I just added it into a parlay just to add a little bit of sweetener on it. Another lock I got this week is Walter Walker. As you know, I absolutely love both Walker brothers. And we made a lot of money off of his brother last time he was out. And the stream made a lot of money on that. Or not the stream, but the chat. I've gotten a couple of messages about that call, the Usman call. I've had a couple of big underdog hits lately on this channel. So I think Walter Walker is not the underdog in this fight, though. But he's going to win. I don't think it's going to be ankle lock. He called a KO. I watched a couple of his interviews. He said he doesn't think it's going to be an ankle lock. He thinks it's going to be by KO this time. So I'm going to go by KO, but I just bet no decision, or picked no decision on this fight. Usman's good. He's just kind of plain. Like he just kind of jabs, 1-2s. He might throw an uppercut. Like he's just simple shit. He doesn't make too many mistakes, but he doesn't overwhelm. He has no finishing mentality. I think Walker tries to get a KO, and if he starts to struggle, then he's got 15 different ways to finish this on the ground. So I'm going Walker by finish. I'm going to finish this up because it's like 4:40 in the morning, and I fell asleep right before I did this. And I need to get this out to you guys, so here it is. So I apologize if the spunkness is not there. I'm exhausted. So Luis Rocha going up against Stuart Nickel. Rocha is 25, Nickel is 30. Rocha has way more experience than him. Nickel is a very highly touted prospect coming out of Australia, I believe that flag is. And he did lose his last fight. He got rear naked choked by... what's his name? I actually bet that fight to win. It's driving me crazy. I will have to look it up as I talk about this fight. But Rocha had the fight pretty much done in the first 30 seconds of that fight. Or Nickel, sorry. And all of a sudden, like, he just, I don't know what happened. He got turned around on him, and he ended up getting choked out by guillotine. What's his name? Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar. He had Aguilar finish dead to rights, flattened out in the first round. And then somehow Aguilar, because that's what Aguilar does, flipped it around and got a guillotine, because that's Aguilar's thing. He gets guillotined. So, I'm going Nickel. Rocha's decent. Actually, he's a very good fighter. But Nickel, I think he gets this done in round 1. I think it's going to be a pretty big upset of the night in Brazil. And, yeah, unless there's some kind of underlying injury or something by Nickel, and that's why they're throwing him on this card to get a loss. But we're going to move on. I hate this girl, Irina Alekseeva. This is my forever fade. I cannot stand her. She has "Love Me" tattooed on her fucking chest. Like, you are fucking retarded. Retarded. Anyway, I'm going Beatrice Mesquita by any way that I hope she beats her so bad that I never have to see Irina Alekseeva's face ever again. That's all I'm going to say. So, please, Beatrice, don't let her beat you. I am a little bit worried about the height difference, but the reach difference isn't much, and usually you have to go with the uglier girl, which is definitely Irina. So we'll see. But I'm going Beatrice very heavy. Let's go. Mitor Petrino going against Thomas Peterson. I thought Thomas Peterson was going to be something, and then the last fight, he proved to me he wasn't. So I'm going Petrino. He moved up, and I actually went against him in the last fight, because I'm usually not for people to go up a weight class. But he looked good at heavyweight, so maybe it is his right weight class, and maybe I should shut up. So I'm going Petrino. I think he gets a submission here. Thomas Chichu Peterson, he likes to wrestle a lot, and I can just see Petrino getting an armbar or some kind of choke on him. So I'm going Petrino by finish, by submission, I think. Field Hill Carpenter. I am not confident on this fight at all. I've flip-flopped on it over and over and over. But I like Carpenter as a dog. He's got a lot of fight in him, and he will take a beating, and he's only got one loss. So I think he's going to come off that loss very heavy, and he's not going to take no for an answer. He's going to beat Filo, who I believe is a decent, well-rounded fighter. Filo's good. He's a good grappler. He's got good boxing, good kickboxing. I don't know. I think Carpenter gets it done. The reach is on the Filo side, but I think Carpenter comes back from that loss and gets it done. We got Lucas Almeida against Michael Aswell. Aswell lost his last fight, and he almost won against it's a big fucking guy, Belagioki, I think. Okie dokie. Yeah, he fought Belagioki at lightweight last fight, and he almost knocked out Belagioki a couple times in that fight. Like, bad. And Oki didn't do that to Aswell, so I'm gonna just go ahead and I think Aswell, I'm gonna do this right now, actually. I am very sure that this gets done. Maybe not the KO, but I'm very sure that Michael Aswell beats Lucas Almeida. He's young, but I think if you don't lose to Belagioki, I think Belagioki beats Lucas Almeida, and that was upper weight class. I don't see a world in where Aswell loses this, so I'm gonna go, unless Almeida subs him or something. But I'm gonna go Aswell, and it's a lock. Ricardo Ramos versus Konolfi. Konolfi looks like a good fighter. A different stream I was watching this week, a different capper. I think it was Jacob from We Want Picks brought up that Konolfi has like 50 strikes total in his last 5 fights, and some went to decision, like 3 of them. So that swayed me quite a bit. Plus, the reach is a giant advantage for Ramos. I don't know if Ofi has fucking T-Rex arms or what, but he's got a giant reach advantage. He's got a big height advantage. He's got every advantage. I'm going Ricardo Ramos. I think I got him, yeah, by decision. Denise by decision over Pinto. Sorry. I think Pinto's decent, but he looked like he was struggling last fight. In his, I think it was his debut fight, or his... Was it a contender? No, it was a debut fight. Yeah, against Austin Lane. He only made it to round 2 with Austin Lane before he ended him. Denise can take a beating, and Denise is a kickboxer. Pinto, I think, has a speed advantage, and quite a bit of a speed advantage. But I'm going to go with the guy that's gotten a few wins in the UFC, in Jonathan Denise. He's only lost to Tabura. And, yeah, they both beat Austin Lane in round 2. So there's that. We got Vicente Luque going up against Yoel Alvarez, and you would think that the age difference would be way different than it is. But it isn't. One thing you can notice, though, I know a lot of it is amateur and a lot of it's not for these guys, but look at the records. Look at the height. Look at the reach. I'm going Yoel Alvarez. Luque had a brain bleed 3 fights ago. He's taken beating after beating after beating after beating after beating after beating after beating. Yoel Alvarez gives beating after beating after beating after beating after beating after beating. And I feel like Kevin Holland beat the piss out of Luque before finishing him. But I'm not certain, and I think Joel Alvarez only like finishes people. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's got 100% finish rate over like 40 fights. So Alvarez has this by KO or submission. Now this fight, I flip-flop back and forth on a little bit in my head, but what I thought about and what made my decision at the end of the day is Montel Jackson is an inactive fighter, but when he fights, usually is pretty impressive. This last fight wasn't crazy impressive, but it was impressive enough that he got it done, and I believe he got it done unanimously, yes. Now, I lost money on Montel Jackson betting on Damon Blackshear, who lost in 18 seconds to a straight left. Montel Jackson has the same glove size as Brock Lesnar. Montel Jackson is a wrestler. Although he looked like shit last fight against Daniel Marcos, but I'm just going to say it was an injury, and that's why it's been so long since he's fought, even though he fights like once a year anyway. Look at the height difference. Look at the reach difference. I don't know. I don't think Montel Jackson knocks out Figueroa, but I know he wins this. Not to mention, Figueroa got his knee popped and yelled out in pain by Corey Sandhagen 5 months ago. So, take away training camp, 5 months, like, I'm going to go with Montel Jackson. I think Figueroa is pretty much retiring, and I think this is probably one of his last fights, and I think he's giving Montel Jackson the push. Now we got the main event, Charles Oliveira, Du Bronx, going up against Mateusz Gamrot. I hate it. I love Charles Oliveira. I think he could definitely get this done, but I don't think he does. He didn't submit. It's just a gunshot outside, sorry. He didn't submit Michael Chandler when they fought. He submitted Gagey, Poirier. I'm sorry, but Gamrot looks like he should be choked out in every fight. Looks like he should be. He's only been choked once, and that was in a grappling match. So, one would think that since he hasn't been choked out, that he won't get choked out by Oliveira. Oliveira is such a killer, though. Man. I'm going Gamrot by decision. Last time I saw Gamrot fight, I told myself, no matter what, I'm betting him by decision next fight. So that's what I'm doing. I love you, Charles. I can't do it. I lost 18 bets in a row on Tony Ferguson at the end of his career doing fan shit. I'm not doing it. Now, it's the first week in like 4 weeks. I have all these filled out, and they're all going to hit. I've spent a lot of time on these. The Thursday Night Football, you could leave out the over 7.5 on the total first quarter points. I'm a little bit skeptical on that one. The other ones, I'm pretty certain on. Devonta Smith leaves me a little hesitant. I don't know if it's finally going to be AJ Brown's day, because they had a team meeting or a player meeting with AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts. So I'm pretty confident in it, but I get it. Now the prestige bet, I'm very confident in that bet. It's Matthew Stafford over 230 yards, and Daniel Jones over 200 yards, and Josh Allen over 200 yards. All three of those play defenses that are in the top 10 by giving passing yards away. And then I have a Mateusz Gamrot bet. Decision only. If there is a finish, no action. Because I don't think Gamrot's going to get a finish. And I don't think there's a world where... the only world where Oliveira gets a decision win is if somehow Gamrot cannot take him down. And... he just gets pieced up on the feet. That's the only way. And that could happen. Or he gets finished. So that's plus 260. Pretty freaking good odds for a bet I'm like pretty much guaranteeing. My dynamic double up is Julia Pilastri, Walter Walker, and same bet with Mateusz Gamrot, decision only, finish no action. My triple up is Stafford 230, Pilastri, Walter Walker, and Mateusz Gamrot, finish no action. Now I will have my single game parlays for the week up at some point this weekend, although this weekend's going to be a little bit different because I am not staying at my house. So we'll see how that goes. So that being said, good luck this weekend, and I hope to see you guys here next week. And like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think, and let me know what some of your guys' picks are, and if you guys got any locks that I can bet. So let's get it.